What's up, nerds? My name is True DeMille, and this is how to play Fatal Knockout, a 1 to 2 player fighting game that plays in about 30 minutes. In Fatal Knockout, you and your opponent will battle it out on the stage using strategic card play and movement to deal 5 damage and become the last fighter standing. Whoever deals 5 damage first wins the game. Inside of Fatal Knockout, we have fighter boards for tracking damage and storing cards, fighter decks with unique abilities, actions, and modifiers, fighter rulebooks, as each fighter comes with its own specific rulebook outlining their unique stats, abilities, and any special setup conditions, standees to represent your fighter's position on the stage, burn tokens, damage tokens, and a meter track to track resources and power, and the all-important KO cards for each fighter, powerful moves that become available when your character's meter reaches maximum capacity. To set up the game, each player selects a fighter, gathers their fighter's components, and follows the instructions in their fighter rulebook to ensure the correct setup for any associated tokens or special conditions. Next, place your meter cube on the starting position of your meter track and place your KO card face up next to your board. Then position your fighter standees 2 spaces from the edge of the stage, facing each other. Finally, shuffle your fighter's deck, draw 3 cards, and you're ready to play. Here's a breakdown of each player's fighter board that helps to track their fighter's status throughout the game. The deck zone is where your fighter's draw pile is placed. The discard pile is where you discard your used cards at the end of each round, and the pocket is a special zone where you can temporarily store cards by using burn tokens. This damage track is where you place tokens as you take damage, and remember, once you've taken 5 damage, your fighter is knocked out. The burn token zone is where you store your burn tokens, which allow you to discard cards from your hand and refresh them. And this is the meter track, which measures your fighter's power. Every time you play a card, you gain meter and move the cube along the track corresponding to the card played. Reaching the end of the track unlocks your Ultra KO card. Throughout the game, you'll have the option to use burn tokens to place cards from your hand into your pocket. These cards are set aside in the pocket zone on your player board and can be drawn later during the draw phase instead of drawing from your deck. This allows for more strategic card management, letting you save cards for key moments. Now, each card in Fatal Knockout contains several key elements. Meter gain tells you how much to add to your meter track when you play the card. Initiative is the number that determines when your card is played in combat. And remember that lower numbers act first. These are the actions your fighter can take on the stage, like attacking, moving, or shielding, and some cards come with modifiers or conditions, like requiring a certain amount of damage to be taken before you can play the card, or an alternate action. The horizontal dividers on the card separate actions into steps that must be taken in order from top to bottom, while the diagonal dividers give you a choice between 2 actions. Some cards also let you substitute one action for another, like rotating your fighter instead of attacking or placing a shield. When you substitute an action, you forfeit all other actions on that specific card, and the rest of the card is not performed. At the start of each round, both players draw 3 cards from their deck. If you've used burn tokens to place cards in your pocket, you may choose to draw from your pocket instead of your deck. Then players take turns playing cards, starting with the leader, who is determined at the start of the game and alternates each round. The first card each player plays is placed face up, and subsequent cards are played face down. After each card is placed, the leader has the option to decide if more cards will be played or if the planning phase will end. After the planning phase ends, it's time to fight. The cards are revealed and resolved in order of initiative, with the lowest initiative going first. Ties are broken by the leader. As you resolve each card, you gain meter and activate your fighter's actions. And if you deal damage, you'll then track it on your opponent's fighter board. As you play cards that have meter symbols, you'll advance your fighter's cube along the meter track. When your meter fills up, you gain access to your KO card. This card is placed at the bottom of your deck when unlocked and will be drawn later to deliver a devastating blow. The combat phase ends when all cards are resolved or a fighter is knocked out. Each fighter in Fatal Knockout has unique abilities that can influence the game. Be sure to reference your fighter's rulebook for any special abilities such as Intimidate, Grab, Push, or Interrupt, which may modify the way certain actions are played. And that's how you play Fatal Knockout. The game offers flexible play options, including a best of 3 or best of 5 series to determine the ultimate winner. You can also organize your own tournament, crowning the fighter with the most wins as the champion. Additionally, Fatal Knockout offers several exciting expansions that add more unique fighters to the fray, keeping the battles fresh and exciting. Grab your fighter, step onto the stage, and find out if you have what it takes to become the last fighter standing in Fatal Knockout.